Data Jockey, Machine Learning for Victorian Racing. Sunday, 23 August 2026, Race 6 at Wangaratta. Let us get going. Here is what the model is saying about Race 6 at Wangaratta in brief. 2 selections on the board. Frenzond carries the place selection, the model's strongest read for this race. Brutify sits in the same race multi only as the top 4 leg. So the short version, Frenzond to place, multi combining both for the value angle. Worth staying for the full breakdown though, because this race has some genuinely interesting detail behind it, and the reasoning matters more than the headline. Race 6 at Wangaratta, 9 runners, top 3 paying the place dividend. The model's read here is interesting straight away. The favorite is not the top selection. That is the model telling you it sees value the market has missed. This is precisely the kind of scenario where the data and the crowd disagree, and that disagreement is where the value sits. 2 selections from the model for this race, a place pick, and a same race multi combining both. Remember, not every race makes the cut. The model only selects when the value is genuinely there, and today it is. On to the breakdown. Quick context before the picks, since how this works matters for understanding what follows. The model driving these selections is machine learning based, trained on Victorian racing, and it never stops updating. Every race meeting adds to what it knows. That is different from a static system built once and forgotten, and it matters because racing patterns shift over time, season to season, even track condition to track condition. The real differentiator, though, is the target. Most tipping approaches chase the winner. This model chases place finishers instead, horses landing in the top positions, paying a place dividend. Different target, different method entirely. It is processing dozens of variables across the whole field simultaneously: pace, distance, field makeup, historical patterns, how each runner matches today's specific rivals. All at once, in combinations that are well beyond what manual analysis can realistically track. The full methodology is linked in the description if you want to go deeper. Right now, though, Race 6 is the focus, and the model has a strong view worth walking through. Let us get into it. Pick 1, the model's top selection for Race 6. Frenzond, currently second in the market, not the favorite, not the headline horse, just sitting there in the market at a price that the model thinks is completely wrong. And that gap between what the market thinks and what the model thinks, that is exactly the kind of value this model looks for. Now I am going to be straight with you about something, because I think it actually makes you trust this more, not less. I cannot give you one clean reason why the model has landed on Frenzond. That is genuinely not how it works. It is not saying this horse loves Wangaratta or has a great record at this distance, or whatever the standard form guide would tell you. That kind of single-factor analysis is what everyone else is doing. The model is doing something completely different. It is processing dozens of variables simultaneously. Track conditions, distance, field size, the specific horses in this race today, historical patterns across thousands of Victorian races. All of it at once, finding relationships between those variables that no human eye could spot. And that is the entire point. If I could reduce it to one sentence, you would not need the model. You could just read the form guide yourself. What I can tell you, and this is what matters, is that the market has Frenzond at second in the market, and the model has it as the top pick for Race 6. That gap is where the value is. That gap is what this model was built to find. This model was built to find place finishers, not winners. So when it rates a horse as the top pick, it is saying this horse fits the historical pattern of horses that hit the places. That is a different lens entirely to what most analysts are working with. Frenzond for the place. Top 3 finish in a 9-runner field. That is what the model is saying about Race 6. For entertainment purposes only, please make your own informed decision before placing any bet. Pick 2 is Brutify, the market favorite. I can already guess what you are thinking, so stick with me, because this is exactly the kind of nuance that sets this model apart from most tipping approaches. The model is flagging Brutify as unlikely to place. Not just unlikely to win, unlikely to finish in the places at all. So if backing it for the win, or even a standalone place, was on your mind, the model is telling you That is not where the value is today. Here is where it gets interesting though. Brutify has not been dropped entirely. It is still part of the selections, just in a different role, the top 4 leg of the same race multi, not a place pick. The model's reasoning splits cleanly here. It thinks Brutify gets beaten, the market has it overpriced, and it does not rate as a place finisher. But the model still sees a top 4 finish as realistic, maybe 4th, holding on, missing the places, but still in the finish. 4th is worthless for a standalone place bet, but it is exactly what the same race multi-combination needs, Frenzond in top 3, Brutify in the top 4. This is what a model built around place finishers can do that a winner-focused model cannot: separate the question of winning from the question of finishing in the top 4 and answer them differently. Most tipping either backs the favorite outright or ignores it completely. This is a more layered read. Same race multi, top 4 only, that is the model's position on Brutify. Here is the same race multi for race 6, Frenzond finishing top 3, Brutify finishing in the top 4. Check with your wagering provider on availability for this market. Before going further, worth being precise about something, since these two bet types get mixed up easily. They are not the same kind of bet, and they do not carry the same odds of landing. Frenzond, as a standalone place selection, is the higher probability option. The model has stronger confidence there. The return is smaller, but the chance of it landing is greater, and that is the model's primary read on race 6. The same race multi is the longer odds path. Both legs need to come in Frenzond in top 3 and Brutify in the top 4, which makes it less likely overall than the place bet by itself, but the payoff if it lands is meaningfully larger. Neither is compulsory. The place selection on Frenzond carries the model's strongest signal. The multi exists for those interested in the higher risk, higher reward option. Whichever you go with, understand clearly what each bet actually requires. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please make your own informed decision. For anyone following the full card, every race gets its own video, and they are all in the playlist Live before race 1. Worth a look through the other races to see what else the model has flagged today. A place multi combining several selections is something some punters build themselves. Check with your wagering provider on how that is structured. Make sure any decision you make is your own, fully informed. Important reminder too, always check for scratchings before placing anything, since they can change a race entirely on the day. The model's place selection for race 6 is Frenzond. The full card is waiting in the playlist. If you are not subscribed yet, this channel covers every Victorian meeting, every race day, and every selection comes at no cost, nothing locked behind a paywall here. That wraps up race 6 at Wangaratta. To recap, the model's place selection is Frenzond, and for those after the longer odds play, the same race multi-combination is Frenzond in top 3 with Brutify in the top 4. Every tip on this channel is tracked, and the results posted publicly every single week. The good runs and the bad ones, nothing left out. That transparency is the only real way to judge whether following this model is worth your time. As always, this is for entertainment purposes only. Please make your own informed decisions and gamble responsibly. Catch you in the next one.